How's it going, everybody? Picture from last night, the beautiful ring that I got my new fiance. I went and got engaged last night. I love it. I took my beautiful woman out to Disneyland last night, and I decided to ask her to marry me. As tradition, I asked her father. I've talked to her family. They all like me. So I went ahead and proposed. I mean, we're madly in love. We've been together for over 2 years now, and it's been awesome. Been the best 2 years ever. So last night I took her to Disneyland, and at Disneyland I had this big old plan that I was gonna walk her through the Sleeping Beauty castle and read the story, and then we are gonna come out at the end, and they had the Snow White's wishing well off to the side, and I was gonna have her make a wish, and as she made her wish, hoping that her wish is gonna be to marry me, that she turned around to see me proposing. It didn't work out that way. Unfortunately, Disneyland likes to set fireworks up in that area and use that area for their fireworks display. And then they closed early last night because Coast had their own little special thing going on. A radio station here, local radio station, had their own Disneyland night thing going on. Kind of ruined my whole plan. So what I ended up doing, waited out the crowd. As long as the people would let us sit there. Anybody that tried to tell us to leave, I explained what I was doing, what my plan was, and they said, "Okay, you guys go ahead and wait." And I just kept explaining to her that we were waiting out the crowd so that we didn't have no traffic as we left. After the crowd left, we went into the circle area where Walt Disney and Mickey stand, and we went where the castle was right there. And told her, let's get a picture while there's no crowd here. And we got the camera out and went to go take the picture and all that stuff. And as the guy didn't even know I was going to do this. So they went to go take the picture, pulled out the ring, got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. And ever since that whole night, we were in tears for the rest of the night. It was awesome. She was calling her whole family, telling her whole family about what happened, and posting it on Facebook. My Facebook still has not quieted down. So, congratulations for me. I'm getting married. But anyways, let's move on to marijuana in the news. Ooh. Let's just move on to some marijuana too. But anyways, I'm always talking about decriminalization and the different sides of decriminalization and prohibition and all that stuff. But so far, one of the leading things that you will hear most of all around the entire in legal states or legalizing states is, well, you don't really need to legalize because honestly, nobody really gets arrested for marijuana anymore. This is actually really not true. In fact, people even in my state of California are still getting arrested for marijuana, but instead of going to jail, they go to court and they face what's called a probationary sentencing. What happens? They get probation. The probation is basically jail time at home. A lot of people don't see it that way. They think, well, you're still walking around, you're still working, you're still going to school. Yeah, but at any moment, probation officer, can come into your home, search your premises. You're not allowed medical marijuana. You're not allowed alcohol. You're not allowed visitations from any certain people, depending on the limitations of your probation. You're not allowed to travel anywhere, period, for any amount of time. that stuff tastes good. But on the scale of where we stand now, who got that choke on? Most people that are actually getting cited for marijuana are getting cited and have to pay a fine. The fine, from the fine and everything else, others will have to end up taking probation. Which I'm not saying probation is bad and we need to stop probation. Probation is actually awesome for non-violent crimes. I mean, you got people who are committing crimes out there who are not doing a violent crime, but they don't need to serve any time in jail. They can serve their time as probation. Graffiti for curvy. Can't talk right now. Graffiti artists are one of these type of crimes where they're caught tagging somewhere. It's disgusting. We don't want to see it. But should we put them in prison with hard criminals that are going to introduce them to lives of crime? Probation can actually keep these people out of the jail system, out of the prison system, and give them an opportunity to see what they have done wrong and what could end up happening and how much worse it could be. But the thing is probation good for marijuana users? I mean, not really. Not at all. Period. Probation is just another form of correctional supervision. Like I said, you are subject to search and seizure at any moment. So the home that you live in can be searched at any time. The entire thing. It places the individual underneath a court supervision. Some of the conditions are very minor, and some of them are very demanding. You have restrictions in residence. There literally is certain places you cannot live while you are under probation. You have restrictions in associations. Certain people you can't talk to, or certain people you can't try to contact, depending on your probation. Restriction in travel. You can't go anywhere. Your home is subject to search at any time, and it literally is a big hassle to travel anywhere through probation. Another thing, abstinence from all drugs, which includes alcohol, marijuana, prescriptions unless prescribed from a doctor. So literally, and if you violate any of these, if you are in violation of any of it, you get put into jail. So basically, it's a stepping stone to jail. It's a gateway drug to jail. Probation is a gateway to incarceration. Now, the question is, will legalization stop probation from using marijuana as a violating result? No. I mean, like I said, drug abstinence while on probation. You cannot use alcohol. Alcohol is a mind-altering substance that can actually cause you to end up in probation. Drinking and driving, or drunken publicness. A lot of different things can be going on while you're intoxicated under alcohol that you will end up in probation. But in order to if we legalize marijuana completely, we end the probation. We end probation as a sentence. So basically, I'm not going to get probation because I just toked on my bong. And another reason why we should not use probation for marijuana users, it's expensive, it's demanding, and it's unjust. I need probation, right? I'm about to smoke this right now. Somebody stop me. One of my favorite memes I see is It is one of those 3 pictures. It's got a picture of a guy smoking a joint, and it says, "Oh, look, an adult using his own mind and consciousness to make his own rational decision to smoke marijuana." Then it's got the next one that of a bunch of police officers beating a guy, and it says, "Let's arrest him and help him and keep him from using this mind-altering medication and save him by destroying," and then you see the guy in jail at the bottom, "by destroying his life and placing him in jail, and he'll never be able to be the same again." It's basically how it works. Now, in what ways is it actually expensive and demanding? Well, the criminal justice system has to appoint someone to watch over each individual. So, as these people are going about their days on probation, they have to have a probation officer come to their house, search their stuff, maybe even, they have to have a couple other officers come with them just to make sure nobody runs or anything like that, or in case they have to arrest anybody for violation. So here's time and resource out of probation officers and regular police officers' work just to arrest somebody who decides, "I'm going to medicate with marijuana." That's taxpayers' money. That's government money. That's all this just to make sure that one individual is not smoking marijuana or does not continue smoking marijuana. Of course, probation does seem less expensive than incarceration because we don't have to pay for meals and all that stuff because they can pay for themselves. They can get their own jobs still under probation, stuff like that. But in the end, it's still diverting our resources away from good time spent busting real crimes. These officers who have to escort this probation officer, well, because they were escorting the probation officer, they were neglecting the beat that they could have been on where the young girl got raped. But they didn't get to catch that guy because they were too busy with the probation officer at that moment. There's diverted resources from catching a crime. A young girl got raped because we have to take care of our guys on probation. In the end, we have drug treatment programs. A lot of these people are put into drug treatment programs, and the individuals, of course, pay for these programs. But these programs also are taking government money, taking taxpayers' money, and also spending resources. The drug treatment admissions have revealed that many people admitted for marijuana-related issues on referral from the justice system don't even meet the diagnostic criteria for substance abuse or dependency. So basically, they don't even, people like me who would end up getting arrested for marijuana, sent by the court system to these drug treatment programs, don't even meet the criteria to study. So while this drug treatment program is taking care of this little marijuana guy who doesn't meet their criteria for drug abuse or dependency, their resource of study to find out what creates drug dependency is diverted to marijuana. So they can't look at these other people who are dependent on drugs, heroin addicts, cocaine addicts, people like that who need the treatment, who need the resources. It's a diverting of resources from people who don't need it to people who do need it. Or vice versa. Sorry, said that backwards. Dang dyslexia, just always jumbling things around. And basically, in the end, probation just uses the courts to label marijuana users as drug abusers. Am I a drug abuser because I smoke weed? I don't take pills. I don't seek out drugs. I don't do drug seeking behaviors. I don't drink alcohol. I don't run around, selling stuff to young kids, anything like that. I don't have drug abuse behaviors. I smoke weed to get through my day. But I'm going to get out of here. I didn't realize my time was getting a little bit longer. But yay to me, getting married, and boo to probation for marijuana users, of course. Other people, if you're messing up, I'm sorry, you're messing up. Remember, educate before you medicate. Y'all have a peaceful, positive, and productive day. Coming at you.